Hey, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today I have these NL4MP Speakon connectors, and you get 4 connectors, and you get the 2 wall connectors in here. Basically, like a wall, console, soundboard, whatever you are plugging these into, and then these are the back connectors. And just to kind of give you an idea, so this is the connecting schematic basically, and I've drawn it on a piece of paper so I can kind of keep track of it while my display goes in and out, so I have to keep touching it. Let me bring that up closer so you have that for your reference, so you kind of know what is going on. So I'll point everything out. So opening this up, it's a pretty ingenious way that these work. And you're basically pushing that through, and then I'll disconnect that to a couple different pieces for you. So to get the right orientation, so this is the -1 and the +1 there, and then you have your +2 and your -2 corresponding onto this schematic. So -1, +1, +2, -2. So kind of easy to kind of follow along. And how you start off with is these connectors will only go into a certain orientation to connect in there. And let me just spin it the right way. Oh, there we go. So it's got a little arrow on it, and then it has this little ridge here that plugs into. So when you turn it this way, that is actually going to be your starting position, which is going to be +1, -1, +2, -2. So we'll put that down there, so we got that correct orientation. Now we're going to be using this type of wire. I've actually pre-cut this side already, and what I mean by I pre-cut, so I have this set up to where this is going to fit onto here. Let me get this right first. So this is going to be your tension cap, screw-on cap, and then your tension holder for your wire housing. And then we will get these spun around so they'll sit nice and flush. We don't have any stray wires. So to cut these to the correct size, you basically want to see where it's going to bottom out in a screw. So it's about there. Hopefully you can kind of like see that on my camera. I got it as zoomed in as I can, but I'll explain it and I'll hold stuff up carefully so it focuses pretty well. And then this is going to be your tension cap, which basically will go back into here. So anyway, so to make sure we have the correct orientation, we're going to look for that notch part again so we don't get really disoriented here. So, and then flipping that to the side. So again, that is going to be your positive terminal right there. That's going to be your -1. So I've already outlined colors. I'm going to use black, red, yellow, blue. So black is -1, red is going to be +1, yellow is going to be +2, blue is going to be -2. So everybody can follow along at home. So let's start getting this set up. So again, this is going to be black up here to start off with. I'm going to twist that around one more time. We're going to make sure that we have that orientation, which is that little notch on that one side. So we know that's going to be the right place. And then we are going to put our wire in there. And we're going to get our Phillips head screwdriver. It's a little narrow, so make sure you have a narrow Phillips head. And we'll have that right tension down. Next one's going to be red. So to the right of this one, we're going to have a red wire. So we're going to twist that around again. And then we are going to put the red wire into its home. Then we're going to hold it as we screw that screw down. Okay. The next is going to be yellow. So again, we'll twist that, make sure that is sitting correctly. Then we'll put that into the yellow home. And we'll put some tension on it, and we'll put the screw down so it makes it really nice, snug fitting. And then the last one. And I was gonna make this like a lot more glitzier in front of a monitor and stuff, but I think this is gonna be the best way. So it's the most technical friendly on how to set these up. Okay, so that goes into that base right there. And then we'll just tighten it down. So that's basically done. So we are going to spin this around, make sure we have the right orientation on that little holder. Okay, so that hooks in like that, so you can kind of like see that little notch that's there. And then we are going to put this part on, and you have a wide and a narrow canal that these go down, so it's kind of user friendly. So if you were to put this on a different way, it's not going to work. You basically kind of have to spin it around so it finds its home, and then you hold this and then you tighten down on this. And again, I had stripped them down so it will make a good solid connection on there. And let me open this up so you can see that a little bit better. So it's all about cutting the wires to the right length, and sometimes that's the trickiest part. So again, easily to take apart and do maintenance if we had to. So see how I have the outer black coating, you can kind of see the wires going through. So make sure that you have it at the right depth, which we do, and then turn it, everything's lining up good. And again, so easy maintenance if you had to get back in there. Okay, so that wire set is ready to go, and I kind of show you how these Speakon connectors work. So that would be in your console, your wall, studio soundboard, whatever you have going on. You basically kind of like push it in, finds its home, and then it locks it in place. So that's not going to come apart. You basically kind of have to push down and pull back on it to release it. So it's a really quick, clean way to get your speaker wires set up. And then now we have the back part, very easy to do. So these are all numbered, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. Hopefully I can get a little bit of a focus on that, but the numbers are embossed in plastic up here. So you have your +1, -1, +2, -2, so we know that that's going to match up. So on the other end, where you are hooking up your speaker wires or into your terminal or your soundboard, whatever you have going on. So we are going to use these little crimp-on connectors, because that's what it's going to basically use to, fit on each one of these little terminals. And since we have our color code, and now I get to show you where we can cut these wires. So see how that is just about the right length, and I think we can probably keep that, and we don't have to worry about that too much. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to crimp that down with my crimping tool, so it's color coordinated. So that's like a 16-14, so we're going to go up there, put that in the middle, push the wire up, crimp that down, and then we know that wire is basically on there. And then basically it's kind of just like rinse and repeat as we go through. And then again, we get that wire sitting pretty good. We'll use our blue crimper, crimp that down. Okay, we got our blue wire going in. And again, obviously I don't have the speakers, so I'm just showing you as an example of what you would be doing. And then crimp that down on there. It's good to go. And last one, crimping that down. Good to go. Okay, so now we have our crimp connections. And I got a little bit of mess sitting here. Let's clean that up as we go. Okay, so basically, so +1 is going to be red, so that's at the top. So we're going to plug that in here. Then next is -1, which we are going to have as our black. Okay. Let me just get this seated right in here. Okay, there we go. Okay, then the bottom one is 2, which is going to be the yellow. And then there's last but not least, it's going to be the blue. And this is definitely tight in there. So I'll push all those together. But again, so I just have a continuous loop on here, but just to kind of give you an idea again, is it basically, there's only one way to really put that in together. It locks in, push down and out, and then you disconnect these 2 connectors. And again, I have it set up as an infinite loop, but obviously you would set this up where this end would go to your speakers. This end is set up for your console, soundboard, wherever you have going in, and then basically just connect them in. And again, they can only go in one way, so it makes like that process nice and easy to do. But anyway, and you get basically 4 connectors, and then you get these 2, so you can swap out like different speakers, different speaker systems. But anyway, Brian from Garage Hall, thanks for watching. Be safe out there.